Hi, welcome to Sagicor Bank's podcast, Impacting Jamaica, the Small Business Edition. Here, we'll be looking at both sides of small and medium enterprises, the ups and the downs. Our experts will offer advice on how to navigate the many challenges entrepreneurs will eventually face and offer tips to help them achieve success. Plus, we will also hear the inspirational stories of some of our SME clients. This is Impacting Jamaica, the Small Business Edition.
Hi, I'm Colin Porter, Technical Services Manager at JBDC, and I'm going to be talking about managing your business to improve your processes and operations. Many of us as entrepreneurs, we have our small businesses, and we tend to do a lot. In many cases, we are the head cook and bottle washer, so we get involved in all aspects. However, it's important for efficiency that we learn to manage the business in an efficient manner. Processes and systems are very important. It helps one to organize yourself in a logical manner. It allows you to tackle all your activities in a way which is consistent with running the business. And so I want to share with you just some techniques and some methodologies that one can use to efficiently manage your business. So let's start with the first area, looking at standards and establishing standard processes. Literally every business one can think of, whether you are a productive type business, a service operation, you do things in a routine manner. So there are processes which one has to follow. Now, for consistency, it makes sense that you establish and come up with the best process that your service will be able to deliver and document those processes or procedures, as we may call them. There's a term, standard operating procedure, which companies use to ensure that they embed the best practices depending on what type of operation you are. Now, in any business, you're going to have several standard operating procedures that govern different activities, whether it is for managing your customers, whether it is to manage production, whether it is to manage distribution of your goods, or any aspect of your business. It makes sense to have standard operating procedures. Now, if you're into manufacturing, and depending on the type of products you're manufacturing, chances are that there are going to be some industry standards that one would adhere to. For example, you are manufacturing beverages, you're manufacturing juices and pastries or some kind of food item. In Jamaica here, the Jamaica Bureau of Standards have a set of standards which govern the manufacture of certain products, food products included. Now, one can understand why this is important, because food is being ingested, so the safety of the consumer is of concern. And these standards would set certain parameters which one would need to adhere to. At this level, these standards are monitored, so the Bureau will request samples of your product to ensure that they are adhering to standards. In your own business, the standard operating procedures that you would develop as well, while they may not be monitored by an organization such as the Bureau of Standards, you as an entrepreneur, you as a head of the organization should monitor these procedures to ensure adherence, that your employees are adhering to the practice, they are sticking to the process, but at the same time, you should also be monitoring these procedures to look for areas of improvement. Now, let's look at resource management. Every business has a pool of resources. We have people, we have money, which are the two resources that people think of mainly, but we have our equipment or tools which will allow us to carry out our activities and do our jobs. To manage resources, you have to think about scheduling the use of these resources, where to deploy them, how much to deploy, at what time to deploy them, and this doesn't matter what kind of resources. Now, another part of managing resources is to identify and know what resources you will need within your business. So one has to become aware of the various technologies, the various tools that will allow you to work. And even if you're in an office, a service-based organization, ensure you have the right software. Ensure that even your printers, your computers, and so on are things that need to be maintained, need to be managed so that they can be productive for you. You will always want to look at ways in which you can improve these resources. Is it training staff, the people that you have? Ensure that they become abreast of all the latest happenings within their industry, within their operations. And we're not talking about deep training sometimes. Simply, if you have an employee and their role is simply to help to package your products, to screw on the caps on the bottles, there has to be a right way to screw the caps on the bottles. Take the time out and you show them how to do that properly. Finally, I'm going to share with you some techniques which many modern businesses are now using to improve their operations or to optimize your operations. Lean manufacturing. Lean manufacturing really speaks to finding ways of minimizing waste in your operations. It is not limited to manufacturing operations only, but can be employed just in about any form of business. Well, the first one that I like to recommend to people is a process of 5S. So the 5S's are sort, in which you literally sort and clear your space of things which are non-productive, which are not useful, which are junk. After that, you set in order the things that are useful in your business, and you ensure that everything has a place and everything is in its place. Whether it's a pen on your desk, whether it's a machine in the workshop, whether it is a box on a shelf. Then you go about shining. Shine ensures that you keep those things that you've set in order in its place. So literally every day you go around and you ensure that things in order, you clean up the place so that you can easily identify where things ought to be. Then we look at standardizing. You standardize the way of operation, how we go about setting things in order, how we go about shining them, and everyone knows exactly what they're to do when they're to do it. After standardizing, we look at sustaining, and this is to ensure that we keep and make it a habit, make it routine, that we always refer to the standards, that we utilize the standards and allow it to become a way of culture. Another method of lean, which becomes very important in operations, is Kaizen. Kaizen is about continuous improvement. As we go about our operations, we realize that there are ways in which we can improve on processes, whether it's because of new technology being available to us or we become experts at doing a particular job. So we look at ways in which we can improve this operation with the aim of reducing waste, wasted time, wasted materials, wasted money, anything that contributes to waste that will allow us to improve efficiency and to become more competitive in our area of business. In conclusion, let's review what we spoke about today. So we looked at setting in place your standards, your standard operating procedures to improve your efficiency. We looked at managing your resources, both human and other forms of resources. And we looked at two specific techniques in lean manufacturing that you can use to improve the efficiency of your business. You can reach out to us for more information on lean manufacturing and the different methods that I just shared with you. You can find us on our website, which is jbdc.net. Our email address is info@jbdc.net, and we're on all social media platforms at JBDC Jamaica. So I'm looking forward to seeing and hearing from you.
My name is Paulie Mcdonald. McDonald is my brand. I want it to be on everybody's lips. I'm the first one for my mother, and she grows without a father. But being a young person, you want to have the simplest things in life, knowing you're not coming from a rich family or your mother couldn't give it to you. So you want to try an avenue to provide for yourself. So at one stage, I was a dressmaker. At one stage, I was a fitness instructor. When the fitness club, the fitness center wasn't working out as how I wanted it to, at the time, I decided to move from fitness and transit into the grocery store. At McDonald's, we just don't do food items. Because one of the things I wanted to do with the brand and with the company, with McDonald's, is to make it a one-stop shop. I wanted to develop McDonald's. Because one of the things I realized with business too, it's not just take up your key and go open the door. It's more to it. You know, it's always changing. The marketplace is always changing. Business is always changing. So I decided, okay, I'm going to turn my store to 24-hour. And I remember approaching one bank particular 2 times, and I was turned down. And then I went into Sagicor Bank. We discussed all the pros and cons, and I got the assistant from the bank. Sagicor Bank and the member, the other staff, they're wonderful sets of people. You know, it's not just about going there and depositing your money or withdrawing. It's good to have a relationship. And they're always there. It's either through text message or through WhatsApp or an email, but they're always, and I love the relationship that I have with them. The people in the community, they love me, I love them. Actually, in every school in our Rockabessa, I have touched the lives of someone. There was this one young lady in the community too that I have helped who has scoliosis. I saw her came to the store and I said, what happened? And she was telling me that she was in a lot of pain and she wanted to do a surgery. So I met with her parents and we discussed it, and they said they don't have any money. So at that time, I launched a fundraising activity for her to get help. And it was successful. She's now walking properly. She's not in no more pain. And I felt good as a person to know I could have helped someone. Family life is very, very important for me. My son who loves a lot of attention, my daughter who is 14 years old, I have to give her a lot of attention too. It does get hard sometimes as a woman, but because I'm passionate about what I do and I love what I do, and because McDonald's Super Safe is my brand and I love my brand, I do work twice as hard to get the work done. So at the end of the day, when you sit and reflect what has happened throughout the day and you put a smile on somebody's face, you feel good.
Sagicor Bank decided to launch the Sagicor Bank Business Resource Center because we recognize that there's a gap in the market to help small businesses to perform much better. What's special about this Business Resource Center is that it's a partnership, the first of its kind in Jamaica, between the Jamaica Business Development Corporation and Sagicor Bank. We particularly chose the Jamaica Business Development Corporation to partner with because of their years of expertise in training small business owners. The Sagicor Bank Business Resource Center caters to a wide cross-section of small businesses in industries such as manufacturing, creatives, dairy farmers, agriculture in general, and distribution, just to name a few. The Sagicor Bank Business Resource Center, its main focus is really the training of small business owners in areas such as marketing, business planning. We even look at your financials. We help you to source markets for your goods. We look at helping you in the areas of technology, which is really huge now given the pandemic. And last but not least, we provide small business financing.
I am David Foster, Managing Director of DIF Construction Management Limited. The Sagicor Bank Business Center means the world to DIF Construction Management team. When we needed a bank, they were there for us. I can remember the time the company was really at risk, and I was looking somewhere to turn for security, and that was Sagicor Bank. The relationship that Sagicor offered DIF, it has saved me personally from being in debt and now in a position where I can retain my staff and respond to many more opportunities. Sagicor has offered me a partnership that gives me such a surety that I can take on any project because I know I have financial backing. And today, the company is strong because of Sagicor being a stakeholder.
We're looking forward to partnering with you, so I invite all small business enterprises to come down to Sagicor Bank Resource Center. Sagicor Bank decided to put the Sagicor Bank Resource Center in Halfway Tree, certainly because of its centrality. Halfway Tree, in our view, is a hub, and there is easy access wherever you're coming from throughout this country. You may contact the Sagicor Business Resource Center through our WhatsApp or email address, and also you may call us through the Jamaica Business Development Corporation.